like 5 minutes, basically. Like the bear mode had barely subsided by the time they closed the game out. So I gotta say, impressive. I gotta say, impressive stuff here by Cognitive to pull that one back, right? To go from the brink of defeat. And the thing is, LoLPro is a team that had a very similar situation. They had that like hour-long game back in Summer 1 where they're like hoping that Hoodstomp carries them on Kog'Maw, clawing their way back in, finally when the team might finally get in against Frank Fan Gaming. And I'm like, well, shoot, we just did the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
We just let the 80 carries back in the game. Oh, gosh.
I'm constantly thinking about that. There's that image, I think it's Wheel of Fortune, where it's like ban Caston, but there's no A's.
Oh, yeah.
They wanted to buy a vowel that time and figure it out. Solve that puzzle, and they did.
Bop Caston.
Caston's being banned now, but from the opposite team.
Yep, well, Cognitive Gaming know better than to let that one go through. Now, LoLPro, they have first picked the Kog'Maw, though. They are very confident in Hoodstomp's ability to carry on that champion. They had the option to go Lucian. They had all these other opportunities available, but no, the Kog'Maw is what he wants.
You talked about it. He had the comeback mechanic and the comeback against Niantanso's team back then, Frank Fan Gaming. So bringing it to about the hour-long mark, and they were able to come back, but they weren't able to do it that time.
Yeah, it's weird. The team with 2 late game 80 carries, and they managed to not be able to turtle it out. Of course, a well-played game by Cognitive, so now they got to make their own choices. Of course, they had banned Kog'Maw the first game around. They added Rengar, though, seeing how scary that was from Heaven Time. And so that was the ban they let up. So every time it's been available, Hoodstomp has gone for Cogs. That's kind of his new favorite right here. Other teams, keep that in mind. It's free advice for you guys. You know, they're playing LoLPro again. Cognitive going to say, you know what, Lulu for Dragon Raider was good enough to get banned away in Game 2 this time around. They've got the room to let the one through. Shorter Ace going to play Elise. And here we go.
Might go Elise Morgana combination on it. We typically see that just as a... If you're going to pick one, you pick the other to just synergize them. And now LoLPro, they might take a Braum here, because that was their key to victory, was they had, I think they had Braum, and they also had Kog'Maw to keep them safe.
The very first game was Thresh Lucian. Game 2 for LoLPro.
Thinking of Frank Fan Gaming.
Oh, Frank Fan. Oh, I'm
when they won their comeback with Kog'Maw.
They had a Kale top lane to keep him safe.
That's right.
That was like the big part that I remember.
That was the big part.
It was Haunter's Kale that was big for them.
Hey, you can always go protect the Kog'Maw on this.
Yep. Hey, I mean, they could. There's a lot available. Kale's still up if they want to play it.
They might go Thresh again for Patoy, so that they can go ahead and get him out with a Lantern.
I think they should.
Yeah.
They absolutely should. It was ban-worthy in Game 2. I tend to agree. They won. Like, it's weird because LoLPro aren't going to the strategy that won them Game 1. They're not saying Lucian Thresh, crush the bot lane, win everywhere, bam, 30 minutes, just win everything all the time and make all the plays. They're saying, you know what, we'd rather play really late game focused. I'm surprised by the Jarvan pickup. I wonder if they're going for some kind of Yasuo comp because it's so out of the ordinary to grab Jarvan here.
There's a lot of things that I'm thinking of right now because Jarvan could be a ball delivery system for them.
True,
if they do pick it in the mid lane, but also might force Cognitive to either snatch up the Orianna from them or or go for a Yasuo was my other thing because you could synergize that with the Lulu. I mean,
Lulu Braum.
There's a lot of things here that definitely work out for him, but snatch up the Orianna, make sure he doesn't have the ball delivery system, and we did see Laud have an amazing Orianna game 1. So they can't go back to that complete strategy.
That's true. That's true. Actually, a lot of the things that were important to LoLPro have actually gone away either by their own choice or by bans here or by stealing the picks away. The Jinx now being looked at for Cruel. It worked in the first game, and in fact, he won the lane with Jinx versus Kog'Maw. So hey, if you go back to what worked for you last time, why not repeat that success here? The lock-in will go through, and I do really love Orianna Jinx. I think Orianna is one of the few, one of a few very ideal champions to pair across lane with a Jinx because the Shockwave puts them on the exact same spot. You're basically guaranteed to land the rocket, and I find that to be just so very effective.
And the Wombo combo did come through last game.
Right.
With the Braum, just Glacial Fissure, and it worked out. Having the AoE slow from the Force Pulse right on top of everything. Now, Cognitive, I don't know, that might be a Lulu support, and then they still have to pick their top laner, or they'll just be like, oh, it's Braum, we're good.
Yeah, they're going to go back for the Shyvana versus Mundo matchup, one that actually Haunter got first blood in, or not first blood, but it's a solo kill in around level 6 or 7, and we didn't see much else from him during the game, but LoLPro still opting into that matchup. Cognitive actually doing the same here, even though I felt like Dragon Raider managed to do more for himself. It is going to be support Lulu after all, so Lulu Jinx the lane has incredibly good push pressure, but I don't believe they fight all that well. Like, if you get caught by a hook, your life is going to be paying here. Is my first read on the matchup. We'll have to see how it actually plays out. Thresh Cog, though, Could be good for LoLPro. Also, the Syndra went through. Syndra versus Orianna. Also is very flippable with jungle ganks.
Yeah, and the pressure for the jungle is going to be extremely important, and if they start invading each other in the early game, who can get there, who can support them? Syndra's very good at long-range Fog of War roams, turning them. Right now, just a read on these teams from me, LoLPro, they have a little bit of a pick comp here between the jungler, the Syndra, and also the Thresh, and then they have some late-game team fighting presence between Syndra, also having the J4 with the lockup, then having Kog'Maw and Mundo. Then you swap it over to the other side, and what Cognitive has, they have a little more of a wombo combo. A little bit more in that area. They do have some options with Lulu and team fighting. They have the persistent damage of Jinx and the ultimates from both Shyvana and also the fact
you got Shiv or Lulu.
You're gonna get that ball right in there.
Yeah, you're gonna find ways to start fights almost for sure. Right now, I actually am very much liking Dragon Raiders Shyvana so far. I also like that every single game it's been thematic. It was Dragon Trainer Lulu, then 2 Shyvana games. I like when that happens, personally.
Dragon Raider. He's actually a new addition to the team. They were previously playing with Gucci Mane. Gucci Mane. There's a couple E's at the end of that. Gucci Mane. Yeah, they replaced him. He was moved to the sub positions. This is Dragon Raider's actually first appearance in the North American Challenger Series. Seeing his nerves. He's actually doing pretty well, despite the solo kill, and also the fact that he died up top for first blood in Game 1.
It's okay.
So his early game has not been very present or very lane dominant.
Yeah.
What I've been seeing from Dragon Raider.
But he's found the ways to team fight, at least in that Game 2. That was the important thing. Nice trinket over the wall. Adaptations by Cognitive, realizing, hey, a lot of red buff invades happen. LoLPro now many times in a row going for this trinket ward over the wall. This one actually placed properly is not spotted by any of the turrets there. So when Cognitive puts a bunch of pings down and say, hey, there's some wards around, they don't ping that one.
It's one of those wards that even when I watch LCS, a lot of LCS players don't know the exact Fog of War for that ward, and they just shove it into the lane, and it's like, oh.
Gets spotted a lot.
Got spotted.
Yeah. It is out of the true sight range of the turrets, but you can see it for the 3 seconds it stealths.
Oh. Trace is going to get hit up, though.
Flag comes down, couple cleavers hit.
Patoy with the hook.
Ooh, forces the flash. Nice play.
I was really surprised he actually stayed in that bush to throw a Glitter Lance the first time.
Yeah, he only hit
just booking it out because
like
he had a ward in that bush to the right. There was no reason to stick around and blow your flash.
No, it's going to be unfortunate for Trance. He at least will have it as only a 4.5 minute cooldown thanks to his utility spec. But that is still a thing you don't want to have missing. You know they're going to type that one out. That's going to be a summoner spell gone till 6 minutes in. Maybe they can make a play off that hook later on.
Heaven Time's actually going to start at the top lane. So he's going to be right in position for that bottom lane gank in time. Usually you want to start on the side that has your AD carry and support. But nope. It's going to be that bottom lane gank at around 3 minutes, 30 seconds. No flash available.
Yeah, and again, yeah, exactly. Without flash, it's a very good place to be around there. You get a lantern, flag, toss someone in. There's no way for Lulu to get out. I want to see how Cog plays this bottom lane with that summoner spell deficit. They get the early push in, but if I think it's right there, I feel like LoLPro could have set up a freeze and completely screwed Lulu. Just use that 2 caster minions to freeze in front of their turret, and then you immediately lose the lane. Not going to be the case here, though. LoLPro going to try to get their level 2 as soon as possible. Actually, Hood Stomp now is going to take a little bit of time. This is now pushing in towards them. Maybe they freeze this wave. There's clearly no rush to get level 2 right now.
A little bit of a push from Cog, Heaven Time. Pulling it into the bush. Making sure there aren't any mistakes. They're going to freeze these 3.
Yeah, so watch. Lulu has to like sit in the river and be like, all right, if there's Jarvan, they watch the river side. They don't see Tribe Rush or any Lantern ganks. And it's now like they're in a really bad spot.
Oh, Heaven Time's actually going to just roam. Ooh, Toy missing everything.
Wow, yeah, he's going to take some good damage down on the way back of this one. Doran's shield will sustain him up a little bit. Shorter ace.
Here comes Heaven Time.
I don't know if he walked far enough down to get seen by the Trinket Ward. Here comes Heaven Time. He's there for the counter gank, though, and the Ward doesn't see that he's
Trace
around.
No
but Trace has nowhere to go. The easiest kill of their lives. Kill goes to Hood Stomp.
They didn't even need Heaven Time. He just runs in, uses Golden Aegis, and gets an assist because of it.
Why not? It's a slow. It counts. And Shorter Ace wasn't there to counter gank in time. Just the pure damage from Hood Stomp and Patoy. Flash burn level 1, easy kill.
Yeah, and the lack of a flash and keeping that timer and the pressure up. And the fact they froze it just a couple inches up is really huge in terms of pressure.
So Absolutely perfect play right there. Shorter Ace now going to look for the mid lane, but he actually already got warded up by Heaven Time a little while ago, and Lod just backs right on off. I love that part of the jungle route, by the way. Heaven Time identified the fact that Cog's jungler started topside. After he finished red buff, he trinketed for the mid lane, then went to gank to make sure there was no counter gank mid for the Syndra. Such good team play.
That's what was delaying him and made it so that his gank wasn't at the 3-minute 30-second mark. It was a little after.
But beautiful stuff all the same. Couple of wards and a potion comes down, plus a long sword here for Heaven Time.
Another ward off to that left side. So shorter Ace, you can't get a read on this mid lane gank.
And it's so beautiful, too, by LoLPro, because Heaven Time trinketed the correct side, the southern side, knowing the jungle route of shorter Ace. He did that. Then Lod put his own one down on the other side, keeps tracking this Elise. There's just no way in for shorter Ace.
And we talked about how the Wraith camp is the most commonly cleared camp. So he puts it over by that side knowing that Elise would do that. This is basically a huge amount of game sense. They pinged that bush thinking he's still in there. And now Heaven Time looking for the gank on the right side. There's the stun.
Stun lands. EQ not going to get flashed in time. Big burst comes out. Doppler knows better than to flash away from this one. Down he goes. Heaven Time actually with red buff grabs the kill. And a bunch of minions attacks as well. Why not?
Yeah, they may have been expecting a counter gank there, but they just set it up perfectly and played to the beat of their own drum on that gank.
Thing is, there's no easy way for Elise in without going down the lane and showing up late. Heaven Time's in one of the brushes, they had a ward rush in the other.
Well, yeah, what ended up happening is shorter Ace got into that left side bush and they pinged it because they didn't see him while in the bush. So they thought maybe he's still sitting there.
Okay.
Then they started the gank and they were like, whatever, we're just going to kill this guy.
Yeah, it was a really good setup there. It's what I like about Syndra is her gank setups are sort of low commit. If it misses, you just back up and like nothing happens to you. But if it works, then it's a bunch of kills. Pull up toy. Ooh, good flash by Cruel.
That's another timer. Blowing flashes against a Jarvan can be very painful later on. The flag and drag comes up really huge, and then the Cataclysm is 3.5 seconds of just you can't go anywhere.
Yep, and that's kind of the issue here is both of these champions here for Cognitive do not have innate escapes. If your flash is down, you're stuck in Cataclysm. They can type right now, Jinx flash 1050, and if they go back for her, she has no way out.
Yeah, easily within the time frame of when he'll get Cataclysm. Coming down bottom, though, he's forced here because of shorter Ace.
A hook. The hook, they're going to land it onto shorter Ace, and there's the knock. So much damage. The Flame Charm is going to try to keep the team alive, but it's not going to be enough. Shorter Ace is going to go down. Patoy gets shields and just barely lives for it. Now Cognitive got to run away from this one. Nice Voidoo's going to lock up Trance and Cruel. They're staying to deal damage. They actually push back. Heaven Time. Hoodstop really wants his kill, though. One hit and grabs it. Actually, Trance chasing down. Wants Patoy. Ignite goes in, finds it. Now Heaven Time puts his shield down. He's a glitter lance away from death. And actually the double kill for Lulu.
Little bit of an overstay there, and the sacrifice of kills. Hoodstop ends up chasing, and man, Kog'Maw's all lonely. He used to have a bunch of friends in this lane. What happened?
It's okay. He's a 4-0 Kog'Maw. Yeah, I'd be okay if I was Hoodstop right now. But you know what? Worth it. The Dragon engaged. Dragon Raider pushing Hanser down. Wow.
He already blew Hanser's ultimate as well.
Yeah.
Just a long time ago, and then he whittles him down again, and he gets him to almost kill range.
It's going to be the Dragon Raider TP to get himself back in. Hanser actually forced a last hit under turret. I don't believe he has the health to push the next wave, but he's going to try. Oh, he ults to try to keep going.
Yeah. He used his ultimate thinking that Dragon Raider might still be in that left bush, and that's why he warded it.
It was also just a short cooldown. Like, one of the things of Top Mundo is you use your ult basically on cooldown as a sustain tool. As long as you're actually taking damage, it's pretty much worth the cast, so.
Yeah. It's already a fourth of the way back up.
Yep. Like lasts for like most of the duration, or most of the cooldown.
Now it's a third.
Yep, I think it'll be all right. A lot of Mundos run pretty heavy cooldown reduction sometimes. They can get away with it. It is going to be Cutlass for Dragon Raider. Interesting thing for Mundo is he would love to itemize Magic Resist first, which he does here with Spectre's Cowl, which gives a lot of power to Blade of the Rune King, and that he's not mitigating any of that damage. We'll see if Dragon Raider goes for that or for Sunfire next.
I don't know if he'll actually complete it. He might just sit on the bilge water for the slow.
A lot too.
Yeah, a lot of them do that. Man, this freeze.
Well, then it's up to Cognitive to make some plays around this then with bot lane frozen. One of the issues, though, is the fact that because LoLPro have so much more gold, they can limp into fights a little bit slow and still do pretty well. Wow, they're going for the play right there. Flay on the Cruel. There's the hook in as well. Big damage coming through. And, of course, he can't break the box wall, so the kill goes through. Beautiful play by Patoy.
Don't even have to care about the Cataclysm. You go ahead and you rush your Moby Boots before even getting Sightstone. Run up to the Jinx, hook him,
What a great choice. What an absolutely great adaptation by Batoy to say, hey, if they can't get away, I'm going to go for the plays in lane.
These wards on the sides, oh, they're brilliant. LOD, Lod, playing to his strengths, playing to the strong side of the map for his team. Now they're going to go get this dragon.
And they're going to look for it. They do sweep out one of these brushes, but there's one right on top of Dragon. Thing is, I don't think it could be stopped very easily. Let's stop with the W on, dealing plenty of damage here. Doppler wants his way in. Elise is in the wings as well, but there's just not enough damage, not enough team members around. LoLPro with a convincing Dragon take right here. They're up now almost 4,000 gold, and life is good if you're a fan of the Curse organization.
With those 5 kills, Footstomp, just pretty much taken over the lane. He's dominating by 32 CS. He's almost got his Trinity Force completed at 10 minutes in. He's well on his way. Look at that. He has enough for the Zeal.
There it is.
He backs, and yeah, he's got it. Boom.
10-minute Triforce is rather fast.
Yes. Yes, it is, because he got 5 kills.
And a Dragon.
Basically handed 1,500 gold.
Close to it.
Even more than that.
Yeah.
Depending on the kills, actually.
Yeah, it depends. None of them were First Blood, I don't believe. Unless I missed something. Actually, no, it might have been. It was the Lulu, wasn't it? But shorter race, kind of a bad spot right there. Gonna repel up in the air. Good shot by actually Doppler. Will turn this one back around. The Elise Rocket gonna do a little bit to push Doppler around. Couple hits to go. One spell, dodges the Q. W's gonna land, auto attacks, and there we go. Lod grabs the kill. 2 for 1 overall. Nicely done here to LoLPro.
And they leave Footstomp by himself in the bot lane, but he's all good. Kog'Maw can farm with the R if he needs to.
Yep.
Get himself some extra range.
And so he takes a little bit of damage, but like even okay, he just hit every skill shot right there. Has to flash and heal. A bit over-aggressive by Footstomp, but also he hit like every aggressive skill.
Toy with the roam. Cruel low.
Cruel does have both summoners, though. Glitterlance misses. That is bad. There's the box. Good flash. Trance does not have it. Actually, good flash, but he doesn't choose to. Pops the wild growth. Flashes late and actually loses his life for it. But here comes Elise. They want this fight. Patoy flashes the cocoon. Nicely done.
Wow, well played there. Footstomp coming up big with the target selection and ended up killing Trance. Getting the flash, too, at the same time. They blew a lot of summoner spells.
Yeah, and here's the issue, though, is that was a misplay from Trance. He could have flashed the box wall and didn't. And we talked in the pregame about this being sort of the most stressful game that LoLPro's played yet as a team. And I feel like that might be the symptom right here. Like, that might be the cause of why, you know, I know as a player, good enough to just, like, flash a box wall. Spells up, you press F, it's not even a hard problem to solve. And yet he misplays that. And that is a very rough thing when you're cognitive here.
Yeah. Cog are in a very, very stressful situation. And like you said, he's Challenger. 388 points in Challenger.
Yeah.
You don't get
pretty
that
good player.
High in solo queue.
Top 150 in NA.
Exactly.
There's an exclusive club.
Oh, yeah. And he's a part of it. You got to get your flash mechanics down, and he does, but it's just the nerves. It's the fact that there's so much stress on the game. It does affect you, and it affects your mentality as well as your execution of plays. Sometimes you're like, I don't want to make a dumb flash. I don't want to flash something too early. I don't want to flash somebody who throws just a Thresh Lantern at me.
Sure.
Things like that.
I saw that video. It was great. Throw a lantern, out the go. Hawk shot, same thing. Sometimes with aggressive moves. You never know. But here we go. Cruel trying to get back up in this game. He is down 24 minions. He's down 5 kills as well. Life is hard if you're the cognitive bottom lane, but maybe you can find your way back in. They got to come back last game. And a gold deficit about this large. Here we go. Hanser goes in. Heaven Time wants it as well. And Dragon Raider, nice prediction. He predicts the Dragon's Descent. Dragon Raider does have flash. He uses it. He dodges the clear, but can't dodge the flash auto attack. Heaven Time claims the kill as well. That is the top laner gone.
Doppler and Shorter Race were on their way up. Are they going to get something in return?
Oh! What a shockwave. Oh! Wanted to help too.
Through the trees. Just lit him up. There's a forest fire going on somewhere on a different map.
Aw.
We have Firefire Tristana. Where are you at?
Send it to Dominion, quick. This is the reason that landscape's so desolate. It was actually a Jinx rocket the whole time.
Ooh.
It wasn't a bunch of mages ruining.
Oh, TP behind Footstomp.
Oh, man. He's trying to kill Cruel, though. The ulti comes in. He gets hexed, though. And Trance tries. There's the Whimsy. There's the Traps. That's the one I was going for. Footstomp takes the Lantern, though. He's going to get on out of that one. Kill's not going to happen from Dragon Raider.
Batoy with the Moby Boots drive-by. He utilizes those boots.
Oh, man, yeah.
More than any other support I've seen in the Challenger Series.
Seriously. He's made a lot of good things happen there as Thresh. Doppler just holding the mid lane now. But yeah, Batoy, got to say, one of the best things happened to that team.
Batoy basically was like, get in my car! Woo! Hood stopping him just left so quickly.
It's a friendly drive. It's not even a drive-by, really.
No, it's a friendly. It's like, I'm going to pick you up from your house.
Let's go shopping.
Yeah.
And he went to the base, bought some longswords.
Boom.
Wait, is he going? Oh, no, it's Ruin King. I was about to be like, is that Yomu's? But it's not. It's Ruin King.
That's what you tell yourself.
I mean, it is Stomp. He does some weird things. But stun on a Doppler. No follow-up, though. Turret's going to go down, maybe. Maybe.
Up.
Huh?
They give them a false sense of security because they can just tap this turret.
They got to know.
They might be waiting for the cooldown on Cataclysm for the engage. They'll smack the turret down, then they'll engage it afterwards if they want to. There's a TP on Hanser.
The problem is, though, Hood Stomp is gone. Like, it's a 3v4.
Yeah.
There's no way you actually go for this. Cognitive know they have the numbers lead, and so they're just going to stay for that one and say, hey, if you go for this, we win this fight with Shockwave.
Blue buff being stolen away here. You can't let this blue buff go.
Oh, kidnapped by Syndrome. Out it goes. Whee!
Nope.
Patrol grabs it with the flay. But hey, at least it's a steal.
It like jumped up when it died. It was like startled. How did I get here?
It got flayed into auto attack, I think.
Woo!
Knocked into the air.
Fell on its back.
Yep, it died.
Cracked spine.
Aw.
Good night,
Let's stop.
Prince.
Got it.
Oh. Dragon live. Nobody's made a move for it, but there are wards set up around it for both sides right now. They do send Cruel to the bottom lane, and Hoodstop rotates to the mid.
Cognitive needs to react to this mid lane pressure right here, though. They do send Dragon Raider around. Teleport is up for Hanser. But he's just playing push the minions into the turret right now. Actually, it's just Mundo getting free time to push in. This is Dragon Raider better make a play really soon, or he's giving up a lot of golden XP.
Dragon being started.
This is aggressive by LoLPro. They know the top laner's around. They have to TP the top laner. They don't have this. Shorter Ace wants to steal. Can he get it? Heaven Time does have Smite. EQ, Smite goes over to Cognitive, though. Cruel in the back lines. Trance gonna get blown up there. Hoodstop stuck in the counter. Flash is over.
Again.
He wants the AD carry fight. That's gonna be a 3-on-4 in the rest of this battle right now, though. And it looks like it's going wetter and better and better for LoLPro. This is Dragon Raider now taking a whole bunch of damage. Played backwards, does not have Flash. He will be dying. 4 kills come through. Only Doppler left alive. Shockwave was not enough for that fight.
Doesn't come up big with the Shockwave. No Super Mega Death Rocket either, or Wild Growth. A lot of ultimates not utilized in that fight. Even Laud didn't have to blow his. Same with Hanser. This is a pretty simple fight for LoLPro to pick up after they gave up the Dragon. They scattered correctly. They opened up certain parts that caused a vacuum for Cognitive to just walk straight into.
Yeah.
And then they kind of closed in and popped the Orianna out. You're going to see right here, Hoodstomp's like, all right, I'm a 1v1 you. Come at me. Goes after Cruel. Trance is like, I have nothing. I have no mana. Why are we fighting this? And he can't even get an ultimate off.
Wow.
Dragon Raider, his ultimate gets stumped and stopped by a Flay, I think it was, or it was one of the knockups from Heaven Time. Either way, his ultimates have just been pretty short.
Yeah.
It's just less like a Dragon's Descent and more like a Dragon Plummet. Dragon Plummet. There we go.
A Dragon Plummet. Oh, poor Dragon. Doesn't fly for very long. And unfortunately, for Cognitive, LoLPro played that fight really smart. They managed to create the situation where the lane with the biggest lead was 1v1ing. Hoodstop was actually battling Cruel 1v1, forced Cruel out of the fight, and then Hoodstop just turned back, dealt more damage, and then said, no, Cruel, seriously, you're not in this battle at all.
Yeah.
So even though Mundo showed up late, it was actually a 4-on-4 at best the entire time for Cognitive.
Yeah, Hanser didn't even take a lot of damage. He walked up and he's like, oh, late to the party. Down bottom, though, we just saw a Talisman of Ascension used by Patoy. He just utilizes mobility so much. I'm actually rather floored by that. He's running around the map, tied for most kill participation with the jungler. So he's just been leaving Hoodstomp by himself. He's got a very still Dignitas, new Dignitas style. He's very similar to Kiwi Kid right now. He's running around the map, warding it up, and making plays.
Hoodstomp's been questionable in the 1v2s. There was one time he burned both summoners to get away, but I mean, to be fair, this is still working though overall.
6-0-4.
Yeah, oh, I mean, sure, when you get 5 kills in lane, sometimes you can 1v2 as Kog'Maw, but I feel like if you're going to rely on that, that's a weird strategy for LoLPro, but at least in this game it is working out, so I can't hate too much. Again, Patoy has been awesome, that is definitely true. LoLPro now take their second outer turret here. Haunter still has not made his way through just yet, but he's about to hold a 2-level lead over Dragon Raider.
Dragon Raider holding on to the ultimate. Same with Haunter. Just trying to farm this matchup. Going Mundo's way both times.
You know what's funny about Mundo fighting other top laners? Is after a certain amount of MR, W is actually disadvantageous to hold on in a one-on-one because Mundo will take more damage than his target. They did reduce the health costs like 2.5 years ago or something, but like back in the day, like Season 1, Mundo versus Mundo was eventually stop pressing W because you would just lose to MR stacking. You would actually hurt yourself more than the other Mundo, but that's, again, way back in the day, the fact that Mundo first Mundo was even a thing. But now Dragon Raider, he's learned to ult early away from those flag and drags because Heaven Time has been great at predicting them. But it means, again, pressure on this turret, stuff that is hard for Cog to deal with.
LoLPro haven't been going for aggressive turrets. They get the turret low, and they're like, all right, we'll wait for the minion wave, no problem at all. They did it with mid, they didn't overstay, they're doing it on the top again, saying, all right, push it up, no need to tank anything, or give an advantage. There's 3 people sitting on the right side of this Trace, shorter ace, Trance, shorter ace, there we go. Waiting. Hood Stomp just sitting bottom farming again.
Hey man, it's a style for him. He just wants to keep getting farm, be that carry. The thing is, LoLPro don't need like a hyper carry. They could just kind of keep playing the turret dive game. They've got 2 very big frontliners that can suck up aggro for a while. They can try to outplay the shockwave and kind of go in for stuff, but they are respecting the counter engage of Cognitive right now.
Oh, the stun actually didn't go through.
He tossed the ball a little bit out of range of that force.
Patoy's just been smacking his golem around.
He still won the little ones. Got 8 gold for that.
It's a rich support right there.
Yep. 8 gold. How dare you? He actually bought Alacrity boots as well. He's really going for that move speed.
Yeah.
No tank stats basically at all.
He just wants to move around the map.
He's going
475 movement speed out of combat.
375 for Lot. Yeah, guy runs pretty quick.
Oh, he's right there!
Oh, Heaven Time gets it though with the smite right there. Blue buff goes once again, second in a row now to LoLPro.
That was a great prediction though by Shorter Ace. Be like, you're gonna pull it here. I know this. I've seen this before.
Darn right, but he got it anyway.
Yep. Picked up by the smite.
Well, a well-played smite battle then. LoLPro playing pretty reserved now. It is game 3. We talked about this game being high pressure for Cognitive. Of course, LoLPro are fighting for a first-round bye. They got second place first time around. If they get another second place finish, they are, I'm pretty certain, guaranteed a bye and a top 2 seed. No matter who actually wins the whole thing, if they go top 2, they're guaranteed top 2 in the postseason, the actual sort of seasonal playoffs. So LoLPro also have a lot to fight for here, because they won't get the bye, I don't think, if they fail to win this matchup. So they're going to play reserved, play it smart, realize they're playing for something very important, skipping a quarterfinal match. Cognitive, of course, playing for an actual seed in the playoffs itself without playing a tiebreaker match. So both these guys are going to be a little bit more risk-averse. They both know they're able to win a game. They think, well, if we don't take any big risks, we should be able to play consistent and close it out.
Well, because that's what bit LoLPro in the butt last time. They took a risk. And then Cognitive capitalized on it perfectly. But 10k gold lead now for LoLPro, 22 minutes in the game. These games have been averaging 29 minutes across the 2 that we've seen tonight.
Yeah. And LoLPro have built a very sizable lead from this gameplay so far. Almost no reckless turret dives, but they've been taking great objective control throughout the game. A 9,700 gold Kog'Maw. He is a full item ahead of his counterpart Thrall. And then you just know if you get to a team fight and Hoodstop doesn't get caught, he will win the fight for you guys.
Yeah, he's been farming his mind off. He's been going crazy.
So weird term.
37. You know,
who farms their mind off?
Farming his brain off, farming his ass off. I wanted to say that one, but I kind of pulled back.
And then you said it anyway.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I explained it.
Yep. Gold's coming in though for the guy, I gotta say. But I want to see what else is next, though. I feel like if you, between dragons, all you get is another dragon, I think that's too safe. Like, pretty much for certain. Unless you were setting up Baron the whole time and you, like, just barely misplayed, like, a hook catch or something.
Well, I don't know if it's too safe, because you would be getting a big boost in gold.
Yeah.
Do that every 6 minutes, you do it twice, you're like, oh, look at that, we got 4,000 more gold, for 3,000 more gold than before, and now it's a 13,000 gold lead. But that's not the play they're going to make, because they're going to make one for Baron right now.
And they're going to look at that one. Ward comes down, and off they back. But the thing is, like, being one item ahead means a lot more at 20 minutes than it does at 40 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So, like,
advantage.
this is the biggest disparity you'll probably have between Hoodstomp and Cruel. Unless, like, you win another team fight and you obviously get a bigger gold lead, but, like, you won't have this kind of combat prowess over your opponents if you keep waiting.
Yeah, it's the difference in percentage of gold.
Yeah, basically.
That really matters, because everybody's going to have combat stats, everybody's going to have a certain amount of gold, but how much more do you have than them in terms of how much they have? So it's not like I have 3,000 more than him. Well, if you guys have 100,000 each, it doesn't matter.
True.
If you have 3,000 more and he's only got 5,000 gold,
right?
You're like, wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to say that in the case where everyone's item capped, and I'm not even talking about that in a specific case, but like even in the case where right here, 2 items versus 1 items versus 3 items versus 2, 2 items versus 1 is still better, even though items multiply. Like, it is still the better place to be when they all reduce down. So I know we're saying the same thing. I just want to be more specific about not even just the item capped case does it matter.
It's okay, because now they're making a move for Baron again, and it's taking that long to revisit it. So,
damage coming on through. Lantern comes across, spots out the rest of Cognitive. There's actually not a lot of ward coverage for LoLPro, and they seem unwilling to risk the steal, but they will try to go for the Mundo TP. Hanser, though, cut off by some Flame Chompers. Does that mean they can go mid, though? Doppler gets caught out. His flash is already down, and Lod gets the pick.
Now, Heaven Time's very low. I don't think they'll go for a Baron because of that. If that had picked him up, then it definitely would have stopped that attempt.
Yep.
But now it's just going to be a mid lane push from LoLPro as a response.
So how well can they wave through? Because Dragon Raider's shoving the bottom lane right now. Actually, he's going to recall back. LoLPro want more kills. Cruel, though. That cleaver does not land. He gets some damage. Actually, Hanser going to lose a few hundred health here, but he's not in too bad a shape. Second tier mid turret goes down. Killing a turret goes to LoLPro.
Yeah, Hanser's just been zoning on the side, trying to make it so they can't reinforce that turret.
Moon is going to file himself back down towards this bottom lane a little bit. Red buff back up for LoLPro, and that was actually pretty good. So they spent probably the last 2 to 3 minutes since Dragon went down, setting up around Baron, trying to find a pick, and they eventually did. That's kind of all you can expect right now when your opposing team has Jinx or Orianna. They have really good wave clear, really good defensive tools, and you can't necessarily outsplit push the Shyvana. And it did turn into a kill and a turret, so that's good. LoLPro can keep this up. Dragon's up in 2 minutes.
Yeah, and maybe they'll just do the whole 6 minutes Dragon, 6 minutes Dragon.
Yeah, but if it's 6 minutes Dragon, a turret, and a kill, like, you'll win a game that way. You got 7 turrets left till Nexus is open.
Just gotta wait 35 minutes. Even more than that, the 42.
But hey, if they close it out, they close it out. That's the important thing here for LoLPro. And that's why sometimes you'll see in Game 3 or Game 5, the games will slow down. Because they're just like, we gotta win this one. The knockup barely hits Doppler. Stun there for LoLPro. Great shockwave, but it's not gonna be enough. Great kill. Lod with the death cap, just blowing people up. And of course, Dragon's up in a minute 20, so they gotta capitalize something else for that one. Looks like bottom getting pushed, and the team is ready to defend the route for reinforcements. This could be another turret for that pick.
Everybody's going top to try and deal with Hanser from Cognitive. Now LoLPro, they're gonna push bottom. This turret's already half HP. They're ready to chunk it down.
It's so dead. Yep, that is a dead turret. There we go. So, between Dragons, 2 turrets and 2 kills. They are finding these pickoffs. Actually, both are onto Doppler, of all things. I was wondering, who's going to be able to react well to the pressure, and right now this Orianna is just getting caught out, and that is a rough place to be.
That's a 13,000 gold lead now for LoLPro. Dragon up in 40 seconds. Hoodstomp, he still wants more gold.
Well, sure, they can't go to Dragon right now anyway. You've got to get the next minion wave. Basically, to me, LoL is played in kind of 30-second chunks. Kind of every minion wave, something kind of happens because minions force that, because they willingly walk forward. That's why Siege comps, even if you don't have a front line, you can use minions as a front line. Again, I go back to day 1, week 9 Dignitas, where that comp works when they fight turrets but not barons or dragons. And oh, Tran. Ooh. Oh no, he's stunned. He's dead. He's dead.
It's his 5th death of the game. Just getting picked off by the team. Biggest shining moment was when he got that double kill down bottom off a little bit of a misplay by LoLPro on the back side of their gank. But now, he's pretty much just been cannon fodder. He hasn't been getting a lot of ultimates either.
Yeah, and honestly, this has not been Trance's series. I know he's a good player, but unfortunately, he's been, aside from that game 2, he had a really good Braum game. Just in all their losses, he just seems to be the one that gets caught out the most, the one that's trying to help and just unfortunately he's in the wrong place at the wrong time a little bit too often. And it's unfortunate, but hey, it is good play by LoLPro. Again, the Boots of Mobility, Talisman of Ascension, Alacrity Enchantment, Patoy. It's awesome.
Hey, he's trying to contest Heaven Time on highest kill participation by showing up to all the lanes, being like, hey, you gonna get it? All right, I'm here.
Yep.
You gonna go for a kill? Nope. All right, I'm out of here.
No worries, though. Lantern in the brush, pink ward control. He's gonna go ahead and sweep away this Baron. He's gotta be a little aware of picks. He backs off fairly safely. Bam! Ward goes down. Crowd goes wild. Cognitive need some way to defend this 15,000 gold deficit. Is a very, very large margin. LoLPro not pushing their edge too terribly fast, but they are controlling vision. They've given up no turrets. I don't believe they've even given up a dragon. Aside from steals, I think there was one. A very clean game from LoLPro.
It's very clean. 17-4, 15,000 gold lead coming in for them. It's 20 seconds out from being the longest game in this series so far.
Seriously. No one closed before then. Trance trying to get away, but he gets slowed down by Cog, forced to flash the wall. And Hoodstomp deals even more damage. Hook hits Cruel. That is not a good thing for the AD carry. The stun comes out. The ult from Lod. Why the heck not? Kill goes through. And now you just lost map pressure if you're Cognitive.
And no longer had that threat on the field. The 0-4 Jinx and the damage return from long range. They're going to be able to go ahead and... Oh, Trance.
Wow, Trance in the wrong place as well. Lod, though, does get blown up pretty nicely. The dangerous game. Actually have to keep him alive. Doppler finally gets the damage down. The Ignite actually from Trance is enough. But another kill comes through. Now Elise is caught alone. Flashes, gets away, but that's a 2-for-1.
Doesn't even throw the hook out, but meanwhile, Hoodstomp up top, getting themselves a tier 2 turret, the 6th turret of the game for LoLPro, and they are just crushing in this final game.
Everything going so well for LoLPro right now. The slow-ish reserve style. I mean, they say that it's 31 minutes and they're hitting Nexus or inhibitor turrets right now, but Hoodstomp been split pushing all games. Drone Race was one hit from dead. Hook's gonna come out, does not quite land in time. The Lawn Dart not doing enough damage either, but Dragon Raider tanking this up, trying to buy some time. Hoodstomp gonna go for this turret. Haunter in the front lines now. Turret does go down. Lantern grabbed by Scumbag Haunter.
And then he walks back in.
Right, why not? He's going for Patoya's shield.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Patoy didn't exactly need it, but hey.
He's looking out for him. Double Sweeper comes out. Red buff controlled. Patoy walks in with another brush to make sure there's no wards there as well. So there's 3 important brushes controlled. LoLPro knows they are safe to wait here for another pick.
17 out of the 20 kills Heaven Time has been a part of, and he's already got his Maw of Malmortis. So he's doing a lot of damage.
That's a damage-oriented build.
Yep.
He really feels like he's ahead. And of course he is.
Well, he is, yeah.
Yeah.
18,000 gold now, and it's about to get even larger if they get this Baron for themselves.
LoLPro finally get the rest of their front line in as Haunter shows up. I do appreciate the restraint from LoLPro and how long they took to actually go for Baron until they knew it was under complete control. They did not want to risk that Baron steal. Game 1, they might have tried that. Game 3, they're like, we've seen games turn around being a little bit over-aggressive. Play for the picks. They found many in a row, and they got turrets off each one.
A 19,000 gold lead now for Team LoLPro. Looking like the second place team from Summer Series 1 behind Coast. And hey, with the addition of Patoy, they synergize really well and they bring out strats like the Tristana and then make it work. I mean, looks like a team that's bringing some innovation and some great team coordination. I like their rotations. I like the fact that they've been pushing the issue and that their games have been around 31 minutes.
Yeah, that's a good score. If you know your team can close things out before 35, you know you're making good choices. And it's always interesting to see how the games are won. Like, some games are won off just individual plays. We've seen that where it's like, well, the bottom lane crushed, so you're pretty much screwed. We've seen games won because of really bad Baron calls. We've seen games won just because a team basically rotates better. The teams that have the most assets available, the most ways to win a game, are the ones that are really awesome. Like, some games, team comp doesn't even matter because your lanes go so well, it's just the easiest game in the world to close out. Having a team that just 1 in 10 games, you just win from individual skill is great. It gives you so much extra longevity in like a season, right? If these guys are in the LCS and they just win their lanes all the time, there's just going to be free wins they get where even if they didn't have the right strategy coming in, well, it pays off because they outplayed their opponents anyway.
And speaking of outplaying the rotation to the top lane, it's really hard to stop this. You don't have a turret, inhibitor exposed. LoLPro looking to possibly end the game off a team fight.
go. Shield comes out for Heaven Time. They are slowly going forward. Hillstorm takes a stun to the face, but look at that. Cog are not ready to follow up. When the AD carry gets stunned in full view of your team and you can't follow up on that, that is a risk here.
Doppler.
Cognitive Doppler, very low on health. That's a flash away. Takes the wild growth at the same time. Heaven Time in the front line has to flag toss out, but hey, that is an inhibitor going down. The stun hits Dragon Raider. Big damage comes through. Looks not going to be enough to clinch a kill, but there is a minion wave now coming down the mid lane. Mundo going to happily walk through the turret. Doesn't really even care. He's a tanky man. Cocoon not going to land
that's a lot
either.
of damage on the Cruel.
Big damage on the Cruel. Ulti not quite going to land, but he's out of this fight. He's got to heal. If he has money, he's going to buy home guards for sure.
Lon
for them.
Looking for the stun. LoLPro looking to just siege the base and push this 20,000 gold advantage alongside the Baron and start going higher in the seeding.
Oh, Hoodstom's got to be a bit careful though. Half HP, and there is an Orianna on the enemy team. The ball is right there. They're going to go on in. They find Doppler. Shockwave hits 2. Do they have the health to stay alive? They actually pick up the kill onto Shorter Race. Doppler goes down as well. The knockup comes in. Patoy going to keep chasing in. There is Haunter as well. 4 kills picked up. Shyvana only cutting off some minions for reinforcements, but has nothing else to do. Haunter happy to take the turrets. That's going to be the game picked up in 35. No way LoLPro loses it from here. And they're going to move on to the semifinals.
And try to increase their seed, but they'll also be facing their sister team, Curse Academy. There's going to be a little bit of a family feud there after they end up killing this Nexus. They've been taking their sweet time with that one.
They go for the dunk at the very end. Heaven Time barely survives. Why the heck not? Keep your KDA looking good. 5-3 and 16. Did great that game. 21 kills he was a part of in that one. And that was a well-played game by LoLPro. Good laning phase. They started things out pretty well. Good ganks from Heaven Time. I mean, the flash at level 1, they snowballed that. They kept punishing the low escape lanes. Orianna in one spot, Jinx, Lulu, all champions who just don't have easy ways of getting out. Every gank worked. They got control. They said, let's control Baron. Pick after pick after pick into turret after turret.
Yeah, they just kept wrestling control, and they did it just off that flash. That flash very, very early on where he was a little too far forward, sitting in the bush and decided to throw out a glitter lance. He did take a step back and then forward again.
Yeah.
He just booked it out. It wouldn't have happened. He wouldn't have put himself in that situation.
Yeah.
And then he ends up paying for it, and just the game snowballs off that bottom kill. It just transitions into the rest of his team.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, Cognitive, they did have a good showing, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that second game, they were able to take a game off of LoLPro.
Yeah.
And we will be seeing them in the tiebreakers.
Yeah.
See if they can move on.
We'll see. It's I believe it's Wasabi and Zenith are the teams they're going to face up against for that one.
Not Wasabi.
Not Wasabi.
It's Cognitive, Denial.
And there we go.
Zenith.
Zenith or Wasabi?
It's Zenith.
Zenith,
Wasabi
yeah.
already has a playoff.
That's right. I'm really silly.
Because they are Frank Fang Gaming.
I don't know why I got that one wrong. Okay, so those are the 3 we'll see in the tiebreaker later on. That is going to be one final shot for Cognitive. You want them to go through. Of course, we saw Denial as well. We saw Zenith a while back as well. I got that one correct this time. Okay, cool. My brain's like not in the right place at the end of Sunday. I've been doing so much casting the last 4 days. Okay, brain work, go. So,
boom.
Yes, LoLPro looking a lot better with Patoyan. The individual skill surge looks good. Lod keeps playing well. We saw a new chance come out from him. It's a team to watch for sure.
Yeah, and, you know, they are going to have to compete against Denial. They are going to have to compete against Zenith, see if they can come out on top on that one.
Right.
Because out of those 3 teams, you know, Denial looks really good.
Yeah.
Cognitive today, with that showing, compared to the other teams and their showings against their opponents, I mean, Zenith did have to face Team 8, and Denial had to face, I believe, Coast.
Yeah.
So they had to fight some really big opponents.
Arguably stronger ones.
Yeah, it's true. But based off the performance I saw here in Game 2 and the comeback, I would probably give that to them.
There's chance here for these guys. Yeah, I feel like Cog crumbled a little bit under pressure, but if they can kind of rebuff themselves, again, just makes mistakes I wouldn't expect from players that are that good, that I know are that good at the game. But we'll see what they can do in the tiebreakers. We'll see if they can make their way into the playoffs anyway. So with that match in the books, here's the updated Summer 2 bracket. Team LoLPro moves on to the semifinals next Sunday, where they will face Curse Academy, who won yesterday.
And the other semifinal match also takes place next weekend when Team Coast and Team 8 duke it out on Saturday after the LCS.
But you won't have to wait that long for more competitive League of Legends action. On Thursday, the European LCS kicks off Week 10. When Rocket faces Gambit Gaming, then Millennium stands up to the Copenhagen Wolves.
Then it's Fnatic versus Alliance and SK Gaming against Super Hot Crew. After the European Challengers semifinals get underway as H2K Gaming battles SK Gaming Prime in a best-of-3 match.
It all starts at 8:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, 5:30 p.m. Central European Summertime with the LCS preview show. And with that, we've reached the end of our time together tonight. But before we go, I want to say thanks again to our friends at Coca-Cola. Now for myself, this is Irene, and the entire live broadcast crew, thanks for watching, good night, and GG. Just killed a one hit and grabs it. Actually, Trance chasing down. Wants Patoy. Ignite goes in, finds it. Now Heaventime puts his shield down. He's a little lance away from death. Heaventime wants it as well. Dragon Raider, nice prediction. He predicts the Dragon's Descent. Dragon Raider does have flash. He uses it. He dodges the fear, but can't dodge the flash. Auto attack Trance in the wrong place as well. Lando does get blown up pretty nicely. The dangerous game actually have to keep him alive. Doppler finally gets the damage down. The Ignite actually from Trance is enough. They're going to go on in. They find Doppler. Shockwave hits 2. Do they have the health to stay alive? They actually pick up the kill on a short array. Doppler goes down as well. The knockup comes in. Patoy going to keep chasing it. There goes Haunter as well.